Welcome, everybody. Big up, everybody. Welcome to episode, what is it, 32 now?
32, man, yeah.
32 of the American Idiot Show featuring Godfather JEZ, the legend JEZ. Thank you for coming back, JEZ. How are you, man? You doing all right?
Yeah, I'm all good, mate. I'm all good. I'm in my man cave here, and I'm looking around because my cat, one of the cats, has brought a bloody mouse in, and it's
tell me about it. Yeah.
God knows where it is, and she's just sat there looking, and I'm thinking, if you brought it in, you get it, because these cats drive me bloody mental, seriously. But no, it's been a good week, man. Fed up with this international break bullshit. Be honest. Fed up with it. Don't see why we need it. And let's just get back to some proper football, yeah?
Yeah, no, already. We just had it on Sunday, and now I'm missing it already for sure. Thanks for coming on, man, as usual. If you guys are looking at me, hey, you might say, hey, TJ, why are you wearing a suit and a tie? I have to go to a wedding in like 45 minutes. So I'm just going to go ahead and just get that out of the way. Before I go to my co-host with the most, Dal. How you doing, Dal? You good, man?
I'm doing great. Happy Friday.
Yep, there he is. Oh, he's in the back now. He's in the back. The legend's in the back. No. Okay, so I got to tell a story. Dal said he was going to reach out to JEZ and YETI.
I did.
Just now.
Just now.
I mean, like, a couple of days in advance. So I was like putting everything together. I'm like, yeah, we got JEZ and YETI. This is going to be awesome. And then I'm like, did you reach out to JEZ and YETI?
I've only just seen it, to be honest, come up on my phone.
Yeah. So yeah, anyway, yeah, big up Dal. Big up, man. I love you, man. This has been such a fun journey.
Wife was gone for 2 weeks. I was holding down the fort. If I missed something, hey, they're here now. Yeti's looking beautiful as ever in his new scarlet thing.
Looks like a very
Pennywise, mate. Pennywise.
It looks like, yes, absolutely. Connor, how you doing, brother? You good?
Yeah, no, I'm good. Completely same as JEZ. It's international football. What can you do this weekend? Realistically, there is some boxing on, which I probably will be watching. But apart from that, it's all boring with the international football. I mean, we're playing Australia currently. I know we've practically got a second string team out, but they've got more shots than us. Australia,
oh my, please.
Gareth Southgate ball. So it is what it is. So next weekend cannot come quicker. Let's just say that. But yeah, I'm all good, man.
Well, I have a question for you, but let's go to the YETI first, the elusive YETI. We lured him out of his cave to come hang out with us on the American Idiots. How you doing, YETI? You good?
I'm all good, mate. How's yourself? Like I said, I didn't even know this was happening because I've been on Instagram for like 2 days. I did actually drop on yesterday and seen that you were getting a load of shit from the Spurs fans, apparently. Which is nothing new, is it? Really? I mean,
just another day in paradise. Honestly,
they're awake now. You see, they're awake because they're actually contending. I suppose.
I've never been triggered. Good try there, color me bad, but I don't get triggered. Not triggered at all. Go win more cups than Huddersfield, and then we'll talk.
Yeah.
Oh no! I'm just glad that my biggest fan, Will Stewart 365, has decided to join us.
Is blah.
Here he is, the man himself. Speak of the devil and up he appears.
No, his ears must have been burning. It's hilarious. Big up to the 10 inside. Make sure you're smashing the likes up. Yeah, wedding on Friday the 13th. Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, Jesus, I forgot about that. Oh my god.
Yeah.
And in October as well.
Yeah, and this woman, I do wedding performing with her, and yeah, she's very into the Halloween thing. So it'll be an interesting one. She might be. I don't know. She might be.
What did you sing this time, mate? Don't Stop Believing by Journey.
I'm not singing it this one. I am singing it another one tomorrow, and we sing that one all the time. You know what? You know what a new banger is? Like the new "Don't Stop Believing" is Mr. Brightside by the Killers.
Mr. Brightside, yeah.
Yeah.
Mr. Brightside.
Well, what they redone it up there? Everybody's redoing it, aren't they?
Yeah,
It's an
ridiculous.
amazing song, but Journey's got the best version.
Yeah,
Yeah, but yeah, Mr. Brightside is the new "Don't Stop Believing" apparently. So, but anyway, let's talk football here, guys. We are on a unnecessary international break after Arsenal defeats Manchester City 1-0. The European champions go down at the Emirates. But I had an interesting chat with Flawless yesterday, which I thought would be a good section for this show. Are Arsenal fans jumping the gun? Are we getting too excited? I think the overall fan base might be getting YETI already.
He already agrees.
but no, I mean, I would like to consider us 5 rational individual, 4 if if like, I don't count the Yeti because he's the Yeti, right? But let me come to JEZ with this one. JEZ, is a certain portion of our fan base getting too excited about the current Arsenal squad? Obviously, it's great to get a win over Man City. Good to get that monkey off our back, but are we getting ahead of ourselves?
Absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, we got it's a 38 game season, right?
Oh.
And we've played 8 games. So we've got another 30 to go. It's a long, rocky road. Yeah, I mean, we've had some injuries and we've got players out. Who's to say we're not going to get more? And it's what it is. But the debate I've seen in the last couple of days between Arsenal, Spurs, they're both in a title race. I don't think so yet. Come back to me and ask me that question next May. Right? We said this time last season. Yeah, we were talking exactly the same conversation. And what happened? Happened? We didn't win we were in a title race. Right. Fantastic, but we didn't win it. And that is the point I was saying on that show last night, is that both Arsenal and Spurs, we need to basically zip it right now, because it's game 9 is next week, 21st, Chelsea away. Let's have a look at that game. Let's have a look at after that. And then let's look at the next one. And we got the Champions League. We got Sevilla twice. So I think people are just overgassing it. And I'm sorry I have to say this, but I love the positivity. I love it. But it's too early, man, to say this. It's too way
I
too
think
early.
call it delusion, don't you, not positivity.
Well, delusion is a great term. It is. It's deluded positivity. Let's put it that way.
Sure.
We're not in a title race yet. We're second. Spurs are top. But let's just calm it down a little bit. Let's get the heart rate down, because there's a long way to go. Anything can happen. If we come next end of January, we're still in first, second, then I'll say we're in a title race.
Yeah,
but not right now. No.
Do you think Spurs are in a title race?
Well, they're number one.
They are in one, but how long they'll be in one?
That's the annoying thing. Currently, you can't deny that they are technically in a title.
They are technically number one, but I'm just like, oh man, like we forget how quickly we forget, right? How quickly people forget the history of the Tottenham. I'm never getting off of this because it's such a solid bet. I'm sorry, they are going to fall off. It's just only a matter of time. I can't wait for them to play West Ham. I can't wait for them to play freaking Newcastle.
We've all said the same thing, because I genuinely think that Tottenham are in the same situation we were in this time last year, playing very good football at the start of the season. But as soon as injuries come into play, I think that's where Tottenham's going to completely fall off. If the likes of them go out, James Maddison, they've got no one to replace them. They want the likes of Richarlison and Lo Celso, who are nowhere near the levels of Son or Maddison, or even if Romero goes out, it's Ben Davis or Eric Dyer in defence. So You know, I think they're in not it's facts. They're in the exact same position we were. We had a fantastic 11, but as soon as we lost one of those 11, we crumbled. So, and that's exactly what I think is going to happen to Tottenham this season. But we'll see. Let them enjoy it, man.
Yeah. So yeah, and at least we have one non-delusional Spurs fan in here. Big up C Cube, the Batwoman herself, the Batman woman herself. Oh, 100% will fall off. This Spurs title challenging talk is nonsense. Thank you, Cubed. Now go over to a couple of group chats we're both involved in, and please remind them. All right, so Dow, what do you think? Are we getting overhyped? Are we in a position to challenge, or do we still need a couple of pieces?
We need a couple of pieces. We need Ivan Toney and Pedro Neto, and I think we're pretty good defensively. When Timber comes back, hopefully in December or January, maybe even February. We're only like 8 or 9 games in. It's just, I don't know, man. There's just so much more to play. So many things can happen, like Jez said. It's nice to beat a rival that we haven't beaten in a long time. And we can definitely ride that wave, but that wave's kind of crashed now a bit. And we come back to reality, and we just go, against Chelsea. You just got to play the team that's in front of you and just grind out wins as much as we can. And all we've been doing is grinding out wins, so it doesn't really look that hopeful, right? Like, it's still kind of grim, but the fact of the matter is we're still contenders, and we're even on points or tied on points, however you want to say it. Still so much football to play, dude. I just can't even think. There's no trophies given in October, so it is what it is.
No trophies, only screenshots. Yeti, what do you think?
Well, as normal, it's the usual prats, isn't it, who are like overdoing it. And, if you listen to them, you're already engraving your name on the title, for God's sake. And same as Tottenham as well. And it all comes down to injuries. And any of you get too many injuries in the right places, then your title's over. And what I can't understand with not Tottenham fans, because they're not used to it. They haven't been used to it for since 10 BC, I don't think. But it's the same. It's the same as normal. It's like everybody's. You got hyped up last time, and then you bottled it. Have you forgot what that felt like when it kicked you in the teeth? Because I think it'd be the last thing I'd be doing again. Because I wouldn't want that feeling again.
Yeah.
Fair point.
Yeah, and it was only like 4 months ago. Like some people have short memories. I'm not getting overgassed about it. I think we have another gear, right? I really do think that we haven't been playing near our best football yet. But again, it's October. We got extremely lucky with injuries last season to put us in the title race. Like, if you really think about it, we had little injuries here and there. Jesus, obviously a big one, but at the same time, if you look at it, our midfield really didn't suffer that much. Our defensively, we didn't suffer that much until Gabriel went down. Like, you really do need that injury luck to ride all the way to the title. So I'm not getting overgassed. I'm really not getting overgassed. Oh, man, look who's here. Hussam. Big up, Hussam. The Liverpool legend. Big up. The Liverpool legend who happens to live in Jordan. My man. My favorite Liverpool fan that lives in Jordan, because I am his favorite American Arsenal fan. He told me so. He told me so. Big up, Hussam, every single time. Smash that sub. Smash that like while you're here, by the way. All right. Anyway. Let's go into I have a question. And then I got distracted because we were talking about England. Why is Jordan Henderson still starting for England? Can somebody tell me that? What is he doing there?
Because we support old age pensioners, maybe. I don't know.
We don't need to talk about international football for too long. I thought that guy went to the Saudi league, never to be heard from again. And Southgate is still giving this guy starts. Can somebody
lock his cheek there?
Why hasn't Nketiah got an England shirt? Someone tell me that.
Well, he's there because Ivan Toney's not there, and I think we all can agree with that. So yeah, and he's just come on, so maybe he can score a goal.
Well, he's a perfect replacement for Ivan Toney, isn't he?
Well, yeah. Well, listen. I've got Brentford mates. I'm literally down the road from Brentford, right? So I've got a load of Brentford, and they're actually even saying we were taking Ketia over as a swap for Ivan Toney. I'm like, yo, I'll drive him down. I will drive him down there. Enjoy your 2 goals this season, because by God, this guy cannot be at Arsenal anymore. Cannot be. Not at all. No way. He's been here for way too long. Way too long. And it's time that he moves on. And all the happy clappers that say, "Oh, but he's Hale End. He's this. He's that. He fights for the badge." You don't fight for the badge. There's a difference. You know, I don't think I've even lived to really see players for Arsenal who actually fought for the badge. I don't think I've actually lived to see that yet. Well, maybe in the future, but he is nowhere near that.
14 he did. 14 he did. I'll give him a shout out.
I think Alexis Sanchez, I like to put up there. I think he always gave his all for Arsenal, in my time anyway. But yeah, Eddie Nketiah, man, I'll say it every day and until he's gone. He's not the levels at all. And I'll say it and I'll say it again. If we brought in Ivan Toney, Arsenal fans that love Eddie won't even think about him for the remaining future if Ivan Toney comes in. They'll be like, "Oh, who was that again? The guy that we praised every single time for every single pass he made and all this and that." Eddie's nowhere near. And I remember when Eddie quoted saying that, "I'm a poacher. I love to press." He does fuck all. He doesn't do that. Yeah, he'll make the odd press, the one press, and then he just walks. He gives up. He doesn't poach. He has a good game against Manchester United every season, and then he drops off again. That's what Eddie does.
But if you got Tony, and he had one game and didn't score, them same Arsenal fans would be going, "Come back, Nketiah, all is forgiven."
Yeah, probably. Wouldn't be surprised. wouldn't be surprised, YETI, in all honesty. But hey, that's the fan base, isn't it? Unfortunately.
Yeah. No, C-Cubed, he's not going to Spurs. He's coming to Arsenal. He's twerking for Arsenal. Like, he's going to throw out his back twerking for Arsenal.
Got the money to do it. That's the thing, though. Because
that was Mudryk, though, wasn't he?
Yeah, but that's also the thing. We say that. I've been thinking about this, TJ. We say that he wants to come to Arsenal. I do think we're definitely favourites for him, but we know how tight we are when we spend over 200 million, which we've already spent a bit over as well. So Spurs have the money to buy him. Not the Kane money. That's the worrying thing. They can realistically go ahead and just put it on the table and say, "Yep, let's talk contract." We will be sketchy about it and say, "Here's 50 plus 2. That gets rejected, right? Here's 55 plus 1.5. It'll probably take us about 5 attempts. We've had this with Declan Rice, and he's going to be another big money signing, Ivan Toney, by no means necessary. It'll be big money, and I guarantee you we'll scave around it again. We'll take 10 years to do it when we can just put one bid down and get it accepted. And Tottenham can easily put one bid down and get him in. So that's the worrying thing, and that's the only thing I'm worried about.
It's going to be the most entertaining fight between two teams, because Levy will add a penny, and then Arsenal will add an extra penny, and then Levy will add an extra penny. It's going to be hilarious. Honestly.
Cody does make the dumb decision to go to Spurs over Arsenal. I think we do have kind of our ace in the hole with Napoli and giving Jesus and some cash for Osimhen. I really think that deal could happen, because the Napoli fans, as you guys know, have kind of turned on Osimhen in a lot of social media posts and so forth. And Napoli, they're not a club really going anywhere.
He's too expensive for me.
They're going to let him go for less than like 200 M's, right?
In my opinion, even with a swap deal, he will easily be above 100 million. Easily.
Well,
and see, this is going to sound a bit rich. I would personally rather go with someone who's Premier League proven.
Oh yeah, no, that makes sense.
I just for me personally, I just want someone who's been in the league. They know what it's all about, and they can get goals week in, week out. And for me, it's either, if we want to go the cheaper route, I'll go with Ollie Watkins, because I know he can get goals and he is the cheaper route than Ivan Toney. Not the route I want to go, but it's an option. And but I think for me personally, Ivan Toney's the solution for Arsenal. But I'm not saying Osimhen definitely would be a solution, in my opinion. But
Finn, though, too.
He's so much money.
It's strong. And it's a lot. You're right. It's a lot of money. And he's really not very physical either. So I'm worried about him getting bullied by center back.
I agree with that. I think Toney is the ideal one for you, the way that you play. because you need somebody in that middle who will bully around and actually make his own chances and things like that and finish things off. So I think Tony more than Osimhen, to be honest.
Do we reckon if let's just throw this question around. Say if either Tottenham or Arsenal get Ivan Toney, either one, whoever gets them, with the position that we're in right now, Arsenal and Tottenham are both at the top of the league. If one team gets them, gets Ivan Toney, sorry, does that mean he would take them over the line to win the league title for either Arsenal or Tottenham? I think if we had him,
I think you maybe, yeah.
Yeah, it's weird with Tottenham because I'm thinking as much as they're on top, they're playing decent football under Postecoglou. I'm not going to just bullshit it. They're playing good football. I've got to be honest I have to be. But I don't know. It feels different if he comes to Arsenal. But maybe it's just going to Arsenal. I don't know. But I think if we had him, I think maybe not a league title because I just personally can't see us getting a title under Arteta. I just personally can't see it.
I think Tony's the final piece of the puzzle for you guys, to be honest. I mean, where Spurs are concerned, I mean, they've got a good lineup, what they've got now. But like you say, I mean, if anything happens to Maddison, where's the creativity coming from? Do you know what I mean? It's all right having an Ivan Toney, but if you're not giving him creativity, then he ain't really going to shine, is he?
Oliver Skip.
I think we have to look at the bigger picture as well. We will still be, don't know whereabouts, but we will still be in the Champions League after Christmas in the January transfer window. So we have to look at the bigger picture. It's not just the Premier League we're looking at. We've got to be a proper big team in looking to compete in the Champions League. So therefore, if we are a serious football club, and let's just think on this point. It was all about, Vinay said, getting back in the Champions League, top 4. His statement last season, right? End of last season, his statement, getting back top 4 in the Champions League. So if our this guy Vinay, who's going to leave next year to go back selling carpets and bloody sofas, good luck. Fair play. But the fact remains, we have to take, if that was his statement. So therefore, if we're going to be serious, we have to go out and get the players we need. Now, I'm not an expert on this whatsoever, but I have heard of this rumor about FFP. So we got to sell to buy. Yeah. Now, that could be an interesting situation for Arsenal. I'm talking about the Toney deal. He's going to be 60, 65 million all day long.
Or 80.
We could end up paying Brentford 100 million between Ivan Toney and then paying the rest of David Raya's deal off.
Yeah, all done.
Eze's a good shot from C Cubed. Definitely.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, Eze's a good shot for him. But yeah, I mean, yeah, if Tottenham had him behind Maddison, that's sorted easily. 100%. And Eze, I think, just because Palace is still in the league, I reckon he could go for a cheaper fee. 30 mil, 25, 30 mil, something like that. But then again, you see the thing about English tax and all that, and then it adds on, and you think, oh, right, here we go. And that's another thing you got to think about Ivan Toney. The English tax stuff adds more money on top of it. It's crazy, man. But hey, listen, you look at it and you think, if we do end up bringing him in, I mean, I know, even what JEZ says with the FFP, it might be even more difficult. We've actually got to sell to buy. Because realistically, who have we actually got to sell that we want to get rid of that's worth an actual good value? Realistically, we don't.
Yeah, he's got to be worth 100 million now, hasn't he?
Oh, 100%. Well, according to some top gooners, JEZ, I think he's worth about 200, mate. So that could clear up our FFP straight away, and then we can go and buy whoever we want. Because remember, we're in the Champions League, so we could go buy Mbappe. I don't actually know why we're going in for Toney, because according to top gooners, we can actually go ahead and buy anyone we want. So we could go ahead and buy Mbappe. We'll buy Haaland as well, and then we'll make the ultimate strike force. And I think then we'll win everything.
Yeah, sell Havertz for 100 million as well while you're in Kai Cuckoo land.
But that's the thing, guys. You've got to look at it. We've paid 65 million for Havertz. When we're now looking at Ivan Toney for the same price when we could have got him. I know, obviously, we couldn't have in the summer because of the ban, but realistically, we look at it, we could have just waited until January and not bought Havertz. What difference has Havertz made to our squad in games? Bar the assist the other day against Manchester City, where he was in.
Yeah.
I will say, well done. You got an assist. Like at the end of the day, you got it. But apart from that,
well done. You've done one thing since you've been there for 300,000 a week. Well played, mate.
Exactly.
Well played.
So at the end of the day, we might as well have bought no one, waited for Tony, and then bought him with that money. It just make it make sense, you know. And then you think about it, and you think, what the Richard, Vinay, and Edu and Arteta, they just sit there, and you think they're thinking about this. They're thinking, right, Havertz is the option, but why? Why is he the option?
Well, Vinay weren't thinking it. He was too busy making coffee for everybody.
He was too busy, yeah. Like I said, it's a shove around. He's He's Edu's boss. I guarantee you, Edu pushes him around. I put money on it. Money on it. But hey,
guaranteed, man, guaranteed. I mean, but the statement you just made there, Connor, makes absolute business sense. We spent all that money on Laia Havertz, and we didn't need it. We didn't need him. We could have waited, knowing that Tony was going to be banned from football until January the 17th, right? We could have just sat back, held that money, earned interest on it in the bank, and waited. I don't understand the business philosophy sometimes of Arsenal Football Club anymore. And I put it purely and simply down to the management. I'm not talking about the Cronkies, okay? Because we have to be respectful and say, well, if they give us money, they release the money. They speak to the board of directors, right? And the board of directors obviously meet with Edu, Vinay, Arteta, and all that lot. Probably Airport Albert as well, and Gunnosaurus. Why not bring him in? And also bring on the club photographer, who's the most famous club photographer in world football now.
But the club, Jez.
Sorry,
he fucking loves the club.
I fucking love this club.
Yeah. Okay, fine. But at the end of the day, you have to blame the management of this poor business philosophy we have at Arsenal Football Club. Is that, we've got this great relationship with Chelsea. We'll just buy their dross. We've done it for year in, year out for the last, 45 years?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yep.
And what has it brought us? Nothing. And, I had great faith. I was one of the advocates that said when Havertz came, I'm sure there is a player in there. It's just a matter of Arteta finding the right position. Now, I'll give him respect. When he came on at the weekend against Man City, he went up.
That was before your medication, weren't it, Jez?
Yeah. and I've obviously had to see my psychologist. It's been a tough time, basically. But seriously, I totally agree with what Connor's making the statement that we didn't need to buy him. We could have waited. If we are seriously serious about the Champions League and the Premier League, then you have to do the right business at the right time and get Tony in January. And if that was my game plan, that's what I'd have done. Seriously. Yeah. Connor, I think you should become the director of football.
No, I agree.
Do you know what? Actually, it sounds a bit cringe, but sometimes I'm sat watching the telly, watching the games, and my mum will walk in now and then, doing whatever, and she'll hear me talking like I'm like speaking to like Mikhail or something, and she's like, "Do you know what? Send them an email. You make more sense than what you'll do a better job than what they're doing on the pitch." And I'm thinking, do you know what? It's not even that. I genuinely think there's some points, and it's not just Arsenal. I think sometimes the average fan, any day fan, could probably do a better job sometimes than some of these guys in terms of decision making.
Yeah,
in hindsight, because there's been many times, especially when we're talking with Arsenal, where Arsenal have messed up that badly. When you think, how, if all of us can agree on a certain opinion, like the likes of Kai Havertz, even if we talk about signings, some of the signings we've made previously, there's a number of them.
You just need to be able to make a good cup of coffee to get the job, though. That's it.
Just make a-
So you can replace Vinay.
and then
But
you
where Havertz is concerned, if you'd have added an extra 5 million, you could have been the first club on the moon.
exactly. Yeah. So,
Yeah.
hey.
Dal, do you think we need Neto on top of Tony? I know you've been waving the Neto flag for a minute too. Do we need both?
Waving the Neto flag since about 2018. Yeah. And the Diaby flag, and before that was the Julian Draxler flag. It goes on and on and on. Yeah, we definitely need a backup, and we might as well get a winger that can play both sides, right? There's no use buying a $35 million winger and another $35 million winger because we both need. I think we still need cover on both sides. It looks like Trossard is just sort of out of favorites right now. If he's carrying an injury, who knows? But we need someone who checks the versatility box, TJ.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that Neto, fits the bill. They're probably going to want, I don't know, about 55, 60 million for him maybe. And we got about 80 million for Tony, so it might be $150 million January.
I think most players now are going to get 100 million put on them.
100 million, yeah, because they don't really have much else to bring in, do they? It's a struggle for them to find someone of that quality to bring in. But yeah, I mean, those are the two names talked about, and now with Errol Smith Rowe maybe headed up north, we'll get around, what about 50 mil, 45 mil for him, 55 mil,
50.
Hate to see him go, but you know what? We've talked about this season after season. I know JEZ and I have extensively on the League Gunners channel back in the day. Is this going to be the year for ESR? Nope, injured again. Okay. Is this going to be the year for ESR? Nope, he's benched half the season. Is this, we've this is deja vu all over again. So now it sounds like it's all come to a head, and that come January, it's going to be a big decision time. How you cannot play your number 10 and just basically push him off like an unwanted stepchild is beyond me.
Don't forget, Dal. Do you remember when?
I don't understand the treatment.
I think it was maybe the first or second season. Do you remember when we were all calling for Martinelli to play and he was constantly being benched? Constantly. Yeah. And Arteta's excuse was, but I'm training him to be a centre forward. That's why I'm not playing him, because I'm training him to be a centre forward, which has never happened, by the way. He played, I think, centre forward once, and I think it was against Chelsea when we drew with him 2-2.
Right. It was definitely one.
So this isn't new. We all know it. We all know it's not new. It's happened with KT. It happened at the end of the Aubameyang saga. It happened with Nicolas Pepe. So, and I remember we were all shouting and calling because this is when this is what it was. Willian was in the team. The season we brought in Willian, and Arteta constantly played him left, right, center. Without a doubt, he was playing him. In fact, he played practically every game of that Premier League season, and he was shit. And Martinelli had to suffer and sit on that bench all season. And when we finally called for him, we were calling for him all season, but when Arteta actually put him in the team, I think if I'm correct, he scored in the game he got started in. So listen, it's just down to the arrogance. And I guarantee you, if Smith Rowe gets regular game time for Arsenal, like you say, Dow, which I completely agree, he needs to be played, especially if he's your number 10 and you've given him that shirt. I guarantee you, if you put him back on the field, he will do amazing things for Arsenal.
Yeah.
But how do we know? We're not managers or anything. So.
Well, I mean, I've been saying for ages now that documentary that was on Amazon where he turned around to Xhaka and Xhaka said, "You're going to be amazing one day," and he said, "I don't want it one day. I want it now." I personally think that got under Arteta's skin, and it's like you'll get it when I give it you, not when you know what I mean, sort of thing. That wouldn't shock me at all, to be honest, because since then he's not really figured with injuries, obviously, of course.
Yeah, I mean, you can, like Connor said, even go back a couple seasons, where he's scored some crucial goals in games that he's been in. I mean, I think it was 2 seasons ago, Connor, where he had a really good start, right? He was starting games, and of course he got injured, and that stunted everything. But the treatment he's getting now, and I mean, Fabio Vieira over him, I don't get it. And I don't believe the whole Arteta training someone to do this, training to do that, because I don't think Arteta has it in him to do that. I don't know if he even surrounds himself with the right people to do that. Granted, there's some players that are probably going to benefit, just from obviously getting game time and whatever kind of extra training they're getting from Arteta's team. But The thing is that you can't treat 22, 23-year-old kids this way when they're like basically in the upcoming prime of their career. I consider prime of their careers 25 to 28 years old. You know, some people differ in age, right? But that's okay. I just think it's just not healthy, right? It just doesn't build confidence for him. So, like TJ said, Connor and us on other streams, you throw the kid out in the 85th minute and expect him to perform miracles. You know, that's just way too much pressure. So if I'm ESR, I'm looking at January as kind of the peak of my Arsenal career, and unfortunately, it's a downhill slope from the peak. So, yeah, he's going to go, and 50 mil.
Yeah, I mean, I'd take him in a heartbeat, mate. I would as somebody to compete with MGW.
We're basically strengthening, I think, almost a current or future rival practically, because Newcastle aren't going to stop. You know, they're putting together a very, very good squad, and you know, big up ESR if he gets a chance at that. You know, if they get him in January, he'll be playing Champions League games anyway.
Yeah, definitely.
So,
yeah. Well, like you said there, Dow, that season when he came into things and he started, I think, 30-something games for Arsenal, it's not a lot, but he got 10 goals. You know, it's more than what right now. And then he got sidelined. He got 12 games the next season, 12 starts, 12 games, because I think that he went down with the injury. And obviously, he's only played 2 games. He's only come on twice this season. So, and he nearly scored against Bournemouth. So he's got it in him. I mean, by God, he's had more opportunities than Kai Havertz has on goal. What he done?
I think I've probably had more shots than Kai Havertz.
We'll probably have it.
His wife was out there kicking the ball the other day.
So yeah, listen, honestly, the reason I brought up the Martinelli thing is because it gives me a carbon copy. Willian came in, same club as well. Willian came in, Martinelli got sidelined. Havertz comes in, ESR is just nowhere to be seen, nowhere, just on the bench rotting. And I know he won't fall out of love with the club for it, but you also got to remember Arteta was a captain of this club. You know, he when you're a captain, you're not just the captain of the first team. You know, you go down, you have a look at the under 21s. They don't obviously play a part, but you go down, you maybe talk to them, all this kind of stuff, and you know, you probably give them the big up and say, "Oh, go for it. Whatever you're doing this season, go for it." You know, not only are you the manager of this club, but you were the club captain at one point. How about you have some respect for these younger kids, barring you know his shit.
Very true.
But you know, you have some respect for these kids. You know, they've got a dream, and it's different when it is the likes of because people could say, "Oh, you're being a hypocrite. You say ESR shit, but you want Arteta to big up the kids." But it's different because ESR. I mean, sorry, and Nketiah is shit, but you're not bigging up ESR. The thing with ESR is he's got talent. You can see he's got talent. With Nketiah, he's got 2 games in him, and then he will disappear for the rest of the season. There's a difference. So I just don't understand why he's not going to be giving a chance. And I've heard massive rumours that he really wants to move to Aston Villa. And I don't blame him. Don't blame Unai Emery. You know, don't blame him at all. And he'd actually start for Aston Villa as well. So go for it.
McGinn.
So, and that's another player we've lost. That's a youngster.
Does he start for Newcastle, though? I saw the Newcastle one. I mean, he doesn't walk into that starting 11, does he?
Oh no, he's going to be.
He'd be
rotational.
He'd be rotational.
Rotation.
I think it's a bit sad to say because Joe Willock has been very good for Newcastle, but I think he's sort of fallen out the pecking line a bit there now. It's sort of they're upgraded now. Willock's sort of fading out a bit, and Willock had that loan spell when he came in, he was fantastic, and then he came in obviously the season after, and he was really good. But you know, this season it hasn't been fantastic. He hasn't had many starts. I think come towards the end of last season. I don't know if he was injured. I don't think he was, but you know, it's sort of. Right, he's sort of fading out now, the team. And that's it's football, it happens. So I could see possibly ESR coming in to fulfill that bit more rotation in that Newcastle because they need depth, especially if they want to be going in for Europe every season. They're going to need more depth in their team. So the will absolutely really solidify that for them. So,
well, the thing is, I mean, Arteta can't spot talent anyway. Otherwise, you wouldn't have spent 65 million on Havertz. So, I mean, I don't think he's the kind of manager that can actually spot talent. I don't think he's going to be one of them that goes into the younger leagues and actually sees somebody that's going to be somebody. I just don't think he's that kind of person.
No, I agree.
Do you know what? And it's going to maybe sound a bit, bit shitty, but I think he's best at being the assistant manager. I think that's where his part is. And maybe you could say he was carried under Pep. You could say that, you know, he was his first assistant managerial job was with probably the best manager in the world right now. But actually, it probably is the best manager in the world right now. So you could say maybe he's been carried. But if you look at what he done at Man City, you probably think, right, maybe that's just your best role. Maybe first team manager for you. Because I personally, because you know, people
I'd say Grandsman, to be honest, but
maybe
our Spanish Connosaurus.
I don't know. I personally don't see a team going in for Mikel Arteta if he leaves Arsenal. I don't see a team going in for him saying we want to measure.
Oh, I do. I think so, just because of the record from last year.
Yeah. Maybe.
Yeah, Derby might need somebody, so he might get there.
The Prem, yeah.
I don't see I could see Real Sociedad. You know, he played for Real Sociedad. If things fall apart for Arteta, I think he always has a home at Real Sociedad and maybe even Rangers. Connor,
even that, that's what I mean. This is why, and this is
average there too.
Young managers need to start from the bottom and work their way up to the top. Frank Lampard was doing that, went to Chelsea, and he's completely wrecked his whole managerial career because he's absolutely messed himself up. Who else was I thinking of? Steven Gerrard. He's now in the Saudi League. Come on.
He's getting a bag, though, doing that.
He's getting that bag. That's all name recognition, though. That's all name recognition. Real quick, let me just interrupt real quick. 20 euro super chat from Wolves. Thank you, my man. Seriously, good vibes. I know Wolves from several Spurs chats. Me and him pollute it all the time. He's an absolute legend. Thank you, Wolves, very much. Sorry, Connor, didn't mean to interrupt.
Yeah, no, just saying. Listen, if I was Arteta and say it doesn't work out at Arsenal and say maybe at the end of the season he leaves, if you want to carry it on, work your way down. Really get into the depths of managerial. Go to
the science of it.
If you want to go to the bottom of the league, really take a team up and really show your skill. Do that. I'm sick of seeing these managers, you know, that have just retired there and they're quote unquote. You wouldn't. Well, Lampard and Gerrard are legends. You couldn't really say Arteta as a legend, but you know, well-known people like Arteta and Gerrard and Lampard.
They didn't go the club.
Yeah, exactly. Well, you look at even what Pep done when Pep started in his managerial career, you know, but you just build yourself up, build up your CV, and then they will probably succeed at these bigger teams, like the likes of Jurgen Klopp. You know, it's just I think these managers just rush into things too much.
I agree.
And he is still learning on the job.
That's true. That was a great move of David Moyes when he left Everton to go to Real Sociedad for those 3 or 4 seasons, because he actually brought them, I think, to like a 5th place finish. You know, one of the highest finishes they've had in some of their history. I think it's one point.
I mean, and even better.
But he went there to learn. You know, I think that if you give yourself a chance to get out of the country, right? For anybody who's really traveled, you go to travel really to not even take pictures and see sites or family members, but to learn the culture, learn like the city, learn the food, etc. And so that's why I've always bigged up David Moyes. When he left Everton, he freaking went to Spain, did a job at Real Sociedad, and then came back, you know, and he got better for it. You can see it. He took West Ham to a trophy, right? I mean, I totally 100% agree with you, Connor, 1,000%. This job is too big for him. This job is only made.
Yeah, Jez, Eddie Howe.
You know, the Arsenal job is too big for any new manager. Just fact. It's too much. It's too much to run. There's too many high-profile players. There's too much money involved. There's too many, you know, people on the board, etc. I know Jez can expand on this more if he wanted to, but you know, it's just too big of a job. You need a seasoned professional at clubs the size
you
of
should
Arsenal.
have to cut your teeth, mate. Any manager should have to cut your teeth.
You know, yeah, right. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I mean, the fact, you know, I just briefly mentioned Eddie Howe, started in Norway, did a great job there with the team he had. But let's look at a real classic, you know, ex-Arsenal footballer, George Graham, right, went to Millwall at the time, who were in Division 3 at that time, right, in the old Div 1, Div 2, Div 3 times. Proved a point, got them up, and then Arsenal went and nicked him, and the rest is history. The rest
exactly. That's what you should do. That's how you should get these managers.
That should be a requirement for, like Connor was saying, for the Lampards and Gerrards out there, and maybe even the Henrys, right? At some point, I mean, Henry's got more, you know, you could say managerial experience, but none of it's really positive. He didn't really win anything as a manager. So does all that really count? And now he's just an analyst, right? But I think Connor's at a great point. That I think there should be more of some sort of systematic process to get in, embed new managers, maybe within some system within the FA, because I think Lampard and Gerrard have potential, but they just need to, like Connor said, Frank Lampard should just still be at Derby now, right? Essentially, County now, give a good 10 years there, right? You put in the work. It seems like some of these guys just don't want to put in the work. They get their name recognition. They see the zeros at the paycheck, and it's their old club that they love, blah, blah, blah. And then they go, or it's a club they used to love, or a family member, whatever, and they get hired right in and completely collapse.
Listen, look at perfect example, and I think he's doing an all right job. Xabi Alonso, he's currently at Leverkusen doing a decent job. Not the best team in Germany, up there definitely, but he's still learning the ranks. He's not gone straight into the thing. And now Liverpool fans are actually saying when Klopp does eventually leave Liverpool, he might be the next manager for Liverpool, Xabi Alonso. Or it could be it could be Steven Gerrard, for all we know. But even if you look like Patrick Vieira, he's been about. He started off in France. It didn't work out. Obviously, he has been sacked from Palace in multiple jobs. He's now back in. Is he in Belgium now? Is he back in France? I can't remember where he is now.
Iceberg.
That's it. And so he's sort of bouncing around. Sometimes this doesn't work out for managers. Look at the likes of Gary Neville. You could be a Gary Neville, go to Valencia, and obviously you smash yourself in. So
yeah, definitely, 100%.
The interesting one is Wayne Rooney.
Yeah,
went out to America, failed. Now Birmingham City. That'd be interesting. Because I've seen a lot of Birmingham City fans don't want it.
I'm not surprised, mate. I mean, he took Derby down, yet they still gave him the manager of the season. Yet Cooper took us from bottom of the table to promotion.
He took him all the way down and got manager of the year.
Yeah.
But then I think he got a bit of a sympathy vote. He got a bit of a sympathy vote, in my opinion, because they got the points deduction. They got the points deduction, but it's Wayne. We got to give it to him. But listen, all I'm saying is, if you're failing in America, in the MLS, I don't think you should be managing, mate.
You're failing up. Failing up, it's what former English football managers managers do. They fail up. No, and I had a question. I did have a question for the panel. Do you think it was a name recognition type thing? Do you think it was just name recognition? Oh, yeah, we're going to bring in Wayne Rooney, because Tom Brady
100%.
bought into Birmingham City. So it's like, who are we going to bring in?
Oh, I didn't know that. Tom Brady bought Birmingham City or part of it?
Yeah, no, Tom Brady bought into it. Yeah, he's part of the ownership group.
Well, knowing how much I rate the MLS, Birmingham City is definitely an upgrade.
That was it, because that's the thing. Look, that's what I just thought. Because you brought in Wayne Rooney, and Rooney's also brought in Ashley Cole and John O'Shea alongside him. So it's all for names and But to be fair, Ashley Cole wasn't too bad as an assistant manager. I think when he was at Villa, he wasn't too bad. No, was he at Villa? I can't remember where he was. He was somewhere in the English leagues managing about. So he's not too bad, but. I think it's another name thing. I mean, personally, I don't think Wayne Rooney should be managing. I don't think he should be whatsoever.
Because you're doesn't mean you're going to be a great manager.
Exactly.
No.
Henry failed. Vieira has failed. And Wayne Rooney has failed. And I can think of several other great footballers that have been top of the game, but they've been shit managers.
Yeah, Lampard is another one.
Yeah, Lampard's a good one. Yeah, straight piss. Yeah.
Gerrard probably say Gerrard as well. Fact.
Nigel Clough, great footballer, crap manager.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, 100%.
Harry Redknapp.
Yeah, Will Stewart, the Neville brothers, even Phil has just been just as bad, So
he made it out of Valencia alive.
Yeah, it's not for everyone. It's not for everyone. Listen,
Brian Clough, awesome footballer and awesome manager as well. They got Brian Clough, man. They got Brian Clough.
I still believe in the fact that
Firmino just brought the house down.
You've got to build up your CV for me. Start off at the bottom, work your way up to the top. That's just how.
Why is Zidane so good then, and everybody else is crap?
I think it was Zidane. I think that's just the thing of some people have just got it. For me, you just you've got it, or you've got to learn it. It's as simple as that. And
Stuart Pearce, another crap manager.
Yeah, so
brilliant footballer.
Yeah, you either got it or you don't. And I don't think. I think it's more of a percentage of you players. I mean, don't normally have it. But
what's the thought on Vincent Kompany?
I think it's a bit unfair to judge him so far. You know, he's coming up, just been promoted.
Do you think he's gonna? Do you think he's gonna make it through the season if these results keep going up for Burnley? If they go straight back down,
trying to make too much. He's trying to play too much tick attacker, and he needs to actually play it the same way that we did last season.
Yeah,
just batten the, do the low block thing, try and stop teams playing, and then hit them on the counter. If he does that, then I think he'll be all right. But he's trying to play too much tick attacker for me.
He's overcomplicating it. That's exactly when I've watched a bit of Burnley, especially when Tottenham played them. You do just watch Burnley now and then you think he is overcomplicating it. Just keep it. You know, you've just been promoted. Obviously there's a lot of pressure. You don't want to go straight back down, which looks like it's probably going to be the outcome for Burnley this season. But you don't want to be over technicalising it, because also a lot of the players that he's got in that team aren't from the Premier League. They've never played in the Premier League before. Majority of them anyway. So that's another thing you've got to put into it. And they've got that James Trafford in goal. He's young. You know, they've got youngsters in there as well. So I think it's a mix. I think if I could see Burnley keep it, I think that's a long project. If Burnley want to keep this project thing going, I think that could be a good long project if they keep him. I think he could be a decent manager. He looks like a decent manager. Well, with what he done with Burnley last season, I mean, you can say it's the Championship, but he dominated that. He completely
100%.
So he's got it in him, definitely. But give him
needs a plan B, doesn't he? Basically,
yeah.
he needs to have that low block thing. He needs to have that where you just fight for your life like we did. That's what he needs.
He needs 42 defensive formations, Yeti. 42.
No, 73.
73.
He needs to ring Arteta and say, 73 formations. Do you want to explain them to me?
We do have
hey guys, sorry, I don't mean to interrupt, but I do have to go.
Yeah.
Connor, are you good with shutting it down? I'm gonna do my outro real quick, and then
I'll do the other guys' outros as well. All
right, thank you very much. Yeah, Dal, JEZ, Yeti, thank you very much. It's been extremely abbreviated today, guys, just because I'm running all over the place today. So yeah, big up everybody for coming on. Big up the chat. Make sure you're smashing the likes. If you're watching on playback, make sure you're smashing the likes, leaving comments. We will have JEZ and Yeti back on hopefully Sunday for a 7 p.m. 500 sub celebration. We are just we're gonna continue this conversation. I'm gonna be drinking, so that'll be fun. And yeah, thank you guys for your support. And yeah, I got a jet, guys. Sorry to be so unceremonious. Big up. We'll see you guys later.
Worries, man. Take it easy.
See you later, man.
Yep.
Brilliant stuff. Right, well, we'll wrap this up anyway, guys, because I do have to hop off as well. But listen, exactly what TJ said. Yeah, JEZ, thank you very much for coming on. A bit of a shorter one today, but it is a bit tough, chat, and even you guys will know as well, when it's international break, it is so difficult to think of content because you don't want to talk about, especially if you're from England, you don't want to talk about that bullshit that we've got this guy playing for England. It's a load of rubbish. So I might tune in for the Italy game coming up, might, because obviously the Euros, you want a bit of revenge and stuff for that. But apart from that, no reason to watch it. But anyway, Yeti, do you want to shout out your stuff, man? Really appreciate you coming on. Do you want to shout out your stuff for us, man?
Yeah, no worries, man. England, I'd never watch them in a million years. Both need to absolute tears, man. And that rhymed, so I might be Eminem. You never know. And it's bigger. Long-eared Yeti's Cave. Drop over there, drop me a sub, and make sure you sub to all these guys as well. Make sure you hit them likes on the video as well. And big up to everybody. Long-eared Yeti's Cave. Come over there. Let's see how we go.
Yep. Cheers for that, Yeti. JEZ, thank you very much for coming back on, man. Do you want to shout out your stuff? And you got some stuff coming up as well, I think. So big up your stuff, man.
Yeah, as you just said, Connor, I hate these international breaks. There's just nothing to talk about. The views are crap. and it's the views are crap on the big channels. You know,
Yeah.
It's just a bloody nightmare, really. But anyway, thanks for having me back on, my friend. Good to see you, Connor, Dow, and the Yeti. My channel is Arsenal History and More. Go and watch some of my stuff. I'm going to try and do something over the weekend. I've no idea. I might talk about my cat. I've got them both down here now, both of them under that bed, and they're looking for this poxy mouse. You
got a mouse now as well. You've had a spider, now you've got a mouse. You got like a zoo going on in your room or something.
I know which one it is. It's Tia.
Is there an elephant in there?
There's tigers, all kinds of
who's the guy that does Wild Kingdom?
She brings in mice, and then she'll bring them in, and then she'll let them go.
Oh, right, yeah.
I've got it. Yeah, I've got a cat as well. The exact same. They're meant to be gifts, is what they call it. They're meant to be gifts. So
it's on your head, Jez.
Yeah, I don't mind them. Terrified. My wife is terrified of mice. She said, I'm locking all the bedroom doors. I said, well, I don't mind it in here because this is my little man cave. But we have got a spare double bed for guests, and I'm like, where the hell can we? Got loads of boxes underneath the bloody bed. They're both sat here, both lying here looking, and I'm like, fuck's sake. Anyway, sorry. So I might do a stream about that. But yeah, thanks for having me on, guys, and I look forward to seeing you on Sunday night.
Yeah,
yes, it might not be a mouse, mate. It might be Pete Haywood in disguise.
Yeah, it could be.
I wish it was. I'll tell you for why. He'd be hanging up by his bollocks. I'll tell you that right.
Good. That's what we want. Anyway, Dow, moving on. Cards for the most. Big up, man. Obviously, you are the other American idiot alongside TJ. Big up yourself. What else have you got? I think you do your FIFA streams and stuff, and you call it.
Yeah, I do FIFA streams and say go when I score.
I'm currently doing a new logo for Dow that'll be coming soon. Yeah, big up your stuff, Dow. Big up your stuff, man.
Hey, man, thanks for running the show today, Connor. At least in final few minutes. But big up everyone in the chat: Carl Rossi, Drew Gutters, Wolves, Mama Flossie, of course, Jaminho, and all the others. Thank you guys for being here today, and Yeti and Jez for joining us. Oregon Goons' channel, but I'm mostly on TJ's show. So anyway, we go again, hopefully against Chelsea coming up, right? Next weekend. Not this weekend, but next weekend. So yeah, I'm looking forward to 3 points.
Yeah.
I'm not sure about the internationals either. But Italy, wait, England plays Italy, right?
Yeah, this week coming up.
Yeah, I'll have to look. I might watch some of that. That could be kind of interesting.
Yeah, it could be. Yeah,
it's
the Euros is which the Euro qualifiers, even though we're practically through it.
Right.
There's nothing else.
Watch. So, watch Italy.
Yeah, exactly. Listen, big up chat. Thank you very much for tuning in. You know, our consistent 15 viewers this whole stream. So thank you very much, guys, for tuning in. All the regulars, Carl Rossi, Drew, Mama Flossie, Wolves FI. Thank you very much for the super chat, by the way, man, from earlier. Drew, Anthony, loads of other people to name. Thank you so much. And Guna Forever, I saw your chat earlier. I'm really sorry what's going on with you at the moment, man. I hope it all gets better, man. So yeah, big up to you. And yeah, a couple things from me. You know where to find me, CMO.editing. Any graphics you guys need, that's all I do. Graphics for TJ and loads of other guys like Jez. And I've done stuff for Dow as well. I'm still doing stuff for Dow now. So feel free to find me on there on Instagram. Couple of things I want to say, mention it again, because it was such a great stream. Jez, Yeti, Lee, Kenny, and Warren. That stream that you've done about mental health and stuff online, great stream, and it needs to be talked about more. I know Yeti, you're trying to do more stuff on now on your channel. So I just want to say massive for that, massive thank you for that. And it was a great stream as well, and it really needs to be talked about more. You know, it is as much as we do have a laugh on here, there are some idiots, unfortunately, that like to tear people down, and unfortunately, it does bring people down with it. And it's not a nice thing, but the fact you brought that to a light, and it's good stuff. So I really appreciate that. And I just wanted to say that. And last thing from me, and Jez will probably know this as well. Happy belated birthday to Charlie George. Never obviously got to watch him myself, but met him loads of times when I've gone to Arsenal, and also for the Arsenal Stadium tours, for the Legend tours. Such a nice guy, and he's just a legend for Arsenal, as we all know. So big up Charlie George. But after that, we are out of here, guys. So big up. Be here Sunday evening all of us will probably be here as well for TJ's 500 subscriber celebration stream. I hope all you guys will be there on Sunday evening. But we are out of here. Get this international
Southgate out.
break over, man.